Yo, what up? It is the 12th of January, 2024, and it's currently 9:15 p.m. on a Friday. And it's snowing once again, which means once again I do not have to water any flowers today, which is very nice. And I've got two special little deliveries here for some furniture. Well, I guess it's not furniture, it's wallpaper and flooring that I got for my room that I'm basing off of the game Lethal Company. And I want to see how that's looking. I mean, yesterday it didn't really look that much like it, but the flooring and the wallpaper is really going to carry it, I think. So I just want to real quick have a look, and then I might order some more furniture today to try and round it out a little bit more. Yeah, it is very dark in here. So yeah, these got some stuff here. We got the weird music, you got the TV, you got the cabinet and the phonograph and the terminal and the monitor and all that stuff. But it's all snowman-y, which is a little bit... You know, look at that. I think the lab wall is a bit bright for my tastes, honestly. I don't know. I think maybe it's the TV. The TV doesn't have any brightness. It's very blue. I kind of didn't expect it to be so colorful looking still. I think it still fits the look pretty well though, assuming I get rid of this snowman closet, but I need to keep it so I can get rid of stuff. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I might buy some more stuff today. This music does not fit at all. Let's see. I could try... I don't know, kicking marathon? Jeez. Okay, can you shut up for a sec? Oh. Oh, that... Okay, that machine was making all that noise. I like this song. Is it fitting? Probably not, but whatever. I'm keeping this on, actually, because that is very appropriately loud and obnoxious. So yeah, it's not crazy accurate. I'm sure if you were in New Horizons, you can make something that is perfect. But that's the exact reason why I wanted to do it, was because I wanted to challenge myself and see what you could do. And, you know, yeah, I think it looks decent. Obviously, it could be better. And I might, like I said, look through some furniture to see if I could add some stuff. But hello, Cube. What can I do for you? Have you heard the stories of the fearsome red flower? Oh, the Rafflesia, or whatever, Rafflesia? I just saw it in another town. It was huge and filthy and so stinky, but it was kind of cool. And I told Tournament that we should go on here. He got all kinds of mad at me. Yeah, that's horrible. If your town gets to the point where one of those starts growing, you know that you're in some doo-doo. Hey, Hugh. Oh, Hugh wanted to make snowman with me. How do you hold your net with one and on two? I think in the game you hold it with two. If I was holding a net in real life, I'd do two, because that's like maximum control. Daisy said he... Daisy... Wait, what? Daisy said he holds one net in each hand. Hugh got Daisy's pronouns wrong. What on earth? Is that real? Am I actually looking at that right now? Daisy said he holds one net in each hand. Really? Did he say that? That is bizarre. In my opinion, that is an overachievement. That's just plain dumb. I have never seen that happen before. What on earth? That is so bizarre. I wonder why that happens. I wonder why that happened. I wonder... What that... Ugh. Okay, yeah, tomorrow's Lottie Day. No smooth jazz. It's also Saturday, and also my birthday. I don't know if KK Slider will appear at all on that day, because it's like an event's going on. I kind of wanted him to show up because I didn't get to see him last week, but I guess, you know, whatever, tough luck. That is so weird that Hugh said the wrong pronoun for Daisy. I've never seen that happen before. Maybe it has happened before and I've just not paid attention, but What do you want with me? Do you think boys and girls can be friends? Well, apparently Hugh doesn't even know the bloody difference, so I don't know. maybe there's some nuance here that I'm not in on, but yeah, I mean that's really weird. Because you would think the way the game's coded that it would be based off of like the character that they're filling the name in with informs the pronoun that they're gonna say. But I guess that one it must have assigned it incorrectly or something. That's very weird. Hey Victoria, I'm a little bit frazzled at the moment. What's with the tiptoe action, Twinkle Toes? There's nothing to fear on my floor, that's for sure. Well, it is grass. Just, you can't tell because it's all grass. I feel like having grass as your floor would be very weird. Like real grass. It's like in Minecraft when you don't actually build a flooring. Like that's a pretty standard thing that you'd find yourself doing in that game, but if you think about it, doing that in real life would be really weird. It's like, it's also, it reminds me of like when you get in a shower and the shower tiling has the same tiling as the rest of the bathroom. It feels like, every time that I get into one of those showers, it feels like the water is not supposed to be going where it's going. Like, there's a flooring and there's a shower tiling. Why are they mixing? Speaking of why is Marina's room like 50-50? Like, why is half of it just empty? I don't remember her room being like this. Nobody stick with your errands? No, I'm okay. I feel a bit shaken up from something weird that happened, but it's okay. I feel like I'm being gaslit now. I'm worried that now I'm gonna go talk to Daisy and it's gonna be revealed that she was a he the entire time and I've been misgendering her. But I can't be the wrong one here. I can't be the one who's wrong. Daisy's definitely a girl. This is how it happens. This is how you get manipulated. It's the subtlety. It's the nonchalantness. Like, God. I mean, honestly, it could just be Hugh being stupid. Like, never in my life. Like, I mean, I've been encountering some weird stuff. I mean, that happens when you play a game for long enough, especially one that's like this. That's as old as this one. I was thinking about something. Are the trees in this game, are they sprites or 3D models? I think they are sprites. Because you never see them at an alternate angle, but you can sort of get this, like, parallax with them. I think how it is that there's the trunk and then the three like balls of leaves are all separate sprites that can move around. Notice how when I get further away from the tree and closer to it, the cherry moves, right? Like it isn't getting like, it isn't sticking to any spot on the tree, it's physically moving. I think the whole thing is this big sprite. Which is kind of interesting. I was thinking about the other day, because I was thinking about games where they mix sprites and models, and I was thinking of this game. I was like, oh yeah, because the trees, and then I couldn't remember actually if the trees were models or not. But it would make sense if they're sprites because that would save on a lot of memory. Because you know if they have that many trees, they're loading a lot of models, and even loading that many sprites. That's probably why. The flowers sort of lag my town a bit, because even though it's just sprites, there's so many of them. Poncho is giving me a citrus wall for making him feel better. I'm glad that he's better. I hope that no one else is sick in return. I feel like that's how it's been happening. Like, it just trades in and out of people getting sick, losing sick, and then someone else getting that sick. Yeah, but this game is very clever with the mixing of sprites and models. Like, I think of, like, Pokemon Black and White. I've never played those games, but, like, you know, I think of that where it's kind of well known for it. And I think the style actually does work decently well. It's obviously something you couldn't get away with as easily today because the fidelity of 3D models is so much higher that a sprite in comparison looks really, like, weird. Okay, now I actually don't know now. I'm looking at it again. I don't know if that's a sprite. Look at the cedar tree. That totally... Can you see the underneath of the cedar tree? I kind of want to Google this. I feel like I should know. Are the trees... Press the H key. The trees in the wild world sprites. They're totally sprites. There's no way they're not sprites. Yeah, okay, yes, they're definitely sprites. Okay. I've confirmed it now. Daisy was here. Where did Daisy go? I had a thing about trees. Yeah, okay, Daisy's... I shouldn't have let that be the confirming moment. I knew Daisy was a girl. That's so weird, though. I wonder if that's... if anyone's ever documented that before. Yes, Monkey, you haven't forgotten that Lottie Day is this Saturday, have you? I've been practicing my singing for 2 hours every day. If you like my song, make sure you pick me, something, something. I really don't like having the authority to be the guy who picks the winner. But, I mean, I guess if someone has to do it. I mean, that's the thing is, well, the one thing, that, and this is why I think Animal Crossing Wild World is one of the better ones, is I think Animal Crossing is best when you don't have a position of authority and you yourself are a villager yourself. Like, you are all as an equal among all of the other characters. And obviously, in practice, that's almost impossible to actually achieve. Sorry, but, it's almost impossible to actually achieve, but, you know, I think it's obviously, nowadays, it's straying further and further away from that, where, you know, you're the mayor, and now you're in New Horizons, you're literally, like, basically the lead of the entire island, completely changing it and shaping it to your will, which is, like, you know, that's fine. There's plenty of games that let you do that, but I think Animal Crossing, personally, I don't think should be about that. I think Animal Crossing is a game about life. It's a game about, you know, it's like how life can be harsh, life can be mean, and stuff like that. And I think the creative freedom in the newer ones is kind of like the opposite of that. It's sort of turning it into a toy. And like, yeah, obviously, all of this is like, it's kind of, you know, it's not important to most people, and I understand it's like a very niche thing to care about, but I think the reason why I care about it so much is that it's sort of, like, everyone wants to, New Horizons is such a mixed game nowadays, and everyone wants to find a reason, and I think it took me so long to find a reason, because it's a very difficult problem to pinpoint, and especially saying that creativity is a bad thing, basically, being the conclusion. It sounds like a silly point to make, but I don't think it's necessarily creativity being a bad thing, but more so, I don't know, I think it's just a lack of equality, because, you know, you could customize your house in Animal Crossing, and so could all of the villagers. They could do it too. They had their own furniture, they had their own houses, but now New Horizons, you shape the island and change the terraforming and put furniture outside and all this stuff, and it feels very like, it feels like you have a zoo, really, and I mean, that's only amplified by the fact that the animals, well, are animals, but also there's this degree of, like, flatness they have nowadays, which I think is sort of a result of not allowing them to have as much personality, by not letting them be very mean anymore. But also, I think the way they did hobbies in newer games is sort of messed up, because what will happen is a villager will get fixated on a hobby, and then that's all they'll talk about. The older games, basically how hobbies are, is that villagers will go in and out of hobbies. Right now, actually I can't think of any of the current hobbies that anyone has right now, but say, for example, Peewee likes bug catching. In 2 weeks, he probably won't like bug catching anymore, and he'll either be in this like, ambivalent state, or he'll be interested in something. And there's a lot of different things the villagers can be interested in, and that keeps things interesting. So Hugh and Cube are both lazy villagers, which means they're practically the same by the game's terms. But because they can have different hobbies at the same time, I can talk to both of them, separately, and they could say entirely different things because they're focused on different things at that current moment. That isn't exactly a thing as much in the newer games, especially with villagers repeating their own dialogue. It happens a lot in the newer ones because it isn't that they lack dialogue, it's that they lack event-specific dialogue, which this game also lacks, but this game has a lot of quote-unquote events that mean that they're saying a lot of different things. So let's see if Peewee said something. See that constellation up there? I guess it's called Igneous. 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 When I say it, I gotta laugh. But, like, something like that. I don't think I've ever, like, there aren't constellations in the newer games, and I think that is a sore, missed opportunity to bring them back. And it's a small thing, but it's just having them talk about that is so, it's interesting, really. I think it is. Yeah, I still like the newer games. I think a lot of people are sort of very negative when it comes to it and think like that it's an all or nothing, that it either has to suck or they have to be the greatest ones. But I mean, they're still good games. I say good games. I kind of lump New Leaf in with New Horizons. I think New Leaf is better on the whole, but it's sort of the beginning of the end, I guess, in terms of the type of design I like in these games. But yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I've still played them for like hours on end, and I still think they're great, but I mean, there's a reason why I'm playing this one and not those. It's that I just think this one is more emblematic of the original spirit of Animal Crossing, and in that sense more appealing to me, because I think that it just works well. I mean, everyone has their own opinions on all this stuff, and I'm not exactly one to, like, scrutinize for what opinion one person has. I think there could be a bit more civilness around the whole thing, because people are kind of inclined to, think their opinion is right and that other people are dumb for not thinking it, which, basically an everyday happenstance on the internet. But, I think the Animal Crossing is a very difficult game to properly rank in terms of quality because of how feeling-based it is. If I had to describe how many things I like about this game, I guarantee you most of it would be about, feelings. It's a lot of stuff that isn't, solidified by game design decisions a lot of the time. It's just how you feel about it. It's like nostalgia or the sweet feelings or all this stuff. And, feelings aren't video games, So if a game makes you feel feelings, is it because of you? Is it because of the game? Is it because of just how feelings are? And that's difficult to rank. And because these games are, in my opinion, all about emotions and stuff, it is very difficult to properly talk about them. Which I think, the newer ones have more actual game stuff. They have customization, which is something you can actually, properly, quantify. Whereas this game, if you're like, oh, well, the atmosphere, it's like, well, yeah, but atmosphere is a lot more difficult to, to holistically surmise, I guess. I don't know, that's just how I feel about it, and, I mean, yeah, I have thought about, doing this sort of format. Eventually, this is speaking very far ahead in the future, but doing this sort of thing, but with other Animal Crossing games, and it would kind of depend. But, I don't know, taking a day-by-day approach to Animal Crossing is interesting, because it's sort of, especially looking at all the timings of the videos I've done, where some are, an hour long, and some are, 10 minutes, as short as 10 minutes. It's interesting. You have off days, you have on days. And I think the problem with the newer ones is that it sort of makes you have a lot of on days back to back, and that really burns you out quickly. If you spend like a whole day decorating an island, then the next day you're like plucking weeds. That's just gonna take you out of it, I think. And that's why I think it's important that this game has so much stuff that's stuff you do every day. In newer games, villages, there's two things. Both villages have to get your express permission to be able to move out of town, and flowers will not wilt. In New Horizons, flowers don't wilt anymore. So that means you both, A, don't have to stay in touch to be able to make sure your villagers don't move away. You also don't have to keep check of your flowers. In this game, neither of those things are true. If I leave for even a single day and come back, there's a chance that a couple of my flowers will be completely gone. And if I leave for a week, there's a chance a whole villager might have just up and left. And that's something that, you know, it's arguably pressure that's keeping you coming day by day at that point. But it doesn't feel like pressure when you're doing it. It just feels like that's part of the motions. And I will admit that sometimes I feel pressured to come, like, to log on, or, like, I feel like I'm not up for it, but I do it just because I know that I want to check this stuff. But I think that is a better thing, ultimately, than the way the newer games do it. Okay, yeah, you don't have any new dialogue. The way the newer games do it, by basically giving you no incentive at all. And that's the thing, is that Animal Crossing is about playing day by day. That's why it's real time in the first place. You know, there's so many people talking about the time travel debate and all that stuff. Well, and I mean, the reason why it's so expressly hated by some people is just because that's entirely against what the games are about. But the problem is, the newer games aren't really designed around you playing day by day anymore. They're designed around you doing whatever you want when you want, but they're also still, you know, 24-hour day by day. So it's got this, I think it's a clashing that's going on. It's making you both want to do all this stuff at once, but also not letting you. And that's why this game, it's simplistic, and that's why it works, because it matches the day by day. Playing day by day is a lot more manageable when there's less to do, and it's more appealing, I think, to me, to come back to something that, you know, you have just as much to do today as you do tomorrow, kind of a thing. And you make your own fun, and I think that's the thing. Games where you make your own fun aren't as compatible, you know, with a broader amount of people, because, well, some people can't make their own fun, or some people don't want to make their own fun, and that's fine. That's just how it is. But anyway, enough about that. I'm gonna have a coffee, and Phyllis is here again, because I'm once again playing in the latter half of 9 p.m. when Phyllis is about to go on her shift. I got the special house blend today, but it turned out a little differently. I'll let us listen to the music. There we go. At the perfect temperature to bring out the flavor. 176 degrees. One fresh brewed cup. Drink up. What an odd flavor. A bit acidic, and yet strangely refreshing. I remember that coffee dialogue. There's only so many ways you can describe the taste of coffee. I wonder how many there are, actually. Thanks. Right, so that was a short day. I didn't have to water flowers, I only had to talk to people. And as during my talkings, I was ordering stuff. I wanted to get a uniform, or a little costume, based off Lethal Company as well, that's going to show up tomorrow. But yeah, I think that's it for today. And so tomorrow is going to be my birthday, which, that'll be fun. And it's also Lottie Day and stuff like that. My birthday won't take up too much time of the actual running, but it'll be, I guess, the theme. It made me think, it's kind of funny that I didn't decide to make a thing about my birthday, but instead about a game. But I don't know. What would you even put in a birthday room? Like, there's a birthday cake item and then a couple of things, but yeah, I don't... My birthday... I mean, I never treat my birthday too seriously. It's just a day where you get older kind of thing, which is why I'll have time in the first place to actually be able to play, because I know I'm not going to be doing that much So yeah, that's gonna be it for today. See you next time. Oops.